start with this, that I'll be talking about the interdisciplinary approach. I don't know how many of you listened yesterday Honorable Director's talk, and he said that hand-holding of scientists, engineer nowadays is very, very needed, but really, really challenging nowadays. So I will just give you some example that we are working in this direction, and I will convince you that how we are working in my group. So that was there. And before I talk, let me introduce my institute a little bit, because there is lots of confusion regarding my institute. And what was the confusion is very simple confusion. Like when I say I am coming from SN Bose National Center, then not only in abroad, in India also, they nod their head like that, oh, you are coming from Bose Institute. Then I have to nod my head like, no, I'm from SN Bose National Center. So why is the confusion? It's very simple. You know that Calcutta is the city and city of several Boses. Netaji Subhas Bose is a freedom fighter, and then J.C. Bose, who discovered life in plants, Professor S.N. Bose, who is famous for Bose-Einstein condensation. So many Bose. Then Jyoti Bose, who was also Chief Minister. So many Bose. So it is really very natural to be confused that which Bose is the real Bose. So I am from the Bose who is famous for Bose-Einstein condensation. So that was this Bose. And you see that our thing is very green, not like your stuff, but sometimes our center is called lung of the city. Like if you go over there, you can see lots of greeneries and everything. So that was there. And another advantage about my institute, because we are being established 30 years back, of course, before IIT Guwahati, the director said 1994. So we are 1986. So a little bit older than you, but much younger than the standard, academic institute in my country. You take a look, J.C. Bose Institute. So that was 150 years, and we are only 30 years. So that was there. So lots of advantage that we are very, very new, and lots of disadvantage also, because we are not old. Because if you want to do something new, people are saying, sir, there is no precedence of doing this. Why you are trying to do? Particularly the accounts people, finance people, something like that. So we are doing something. So although we are new, but Professor S.N. Bose is not new. Last year, we celebrated his 125th year of birthday, and whole year we celebrated like that. I know Professor Ketarde, who got Nobel Prize in experiment for the demonstration of Bose-Einstein condensation. So he got Nobel Prize, and Director Sir was telling yesterday that although Professor S.N. Bose didn't get the Nobel Prize, but at least 7 to 11 Nobel Prize was given on the idea of boson. So that was disadvantage. He was genius and ahead of time. So it was being inaugurated by our Prime Minister, and then whole year we celebrated like that. So this is S.N. Bose. Now coming back to my group. So my group is the Applied Optical Spectroscopy Lab, and this is the prolific, logo that is made by one of my students. And he said that this is, you find everything, engineering, science, and everything, all carefully blending. And our research is a cross-disciplinary area because we want to do application-driven basic research. In other way, we find the application domain first, that where we are going to deliver our knowledge, and then this is our knowledge, small gear to make this thing narrow. And as per our expertise, we are working in the domain of spectroscopy and nanoscience and technology. So that was our expertise. And in order to confirm that our group is really interdisciplinary, let me give you some example. You see, you take a look at picture. So this picture is like always my group, 15 PhD students, and then 3-4 postdocs, and collaboration all over the world. So that was my always group, steady state right now. So this picture was taken, I think, that few months back, where my group developed a device. That device will, with 100% specificity, can authenticate Darjeeling tea. You see, Darjeeling tea is a pride of India, but no instrument is available reliably who can establish authenticity of Darjeeling tea. So that was this problem. So NTRF, National Tea Research Foundation, gave us a project so that whether we can validate it, and we validated. So that was a NTRF sponsored project. So you can give a little bit of the liquor and we can tell that this is a Darjeeling tea or not. And if it is being Darjeeling tea, then which garden is producing the Darjeeling tea, we will be able to tell. And not only that, how far the garden is from the Nepal border, because lots of infringement come from the Nepal, the Darjeeling tea, we will be able to tell. So that was there. So everybody was having some kind of enjoyment over there. So you see here. So this picture is taken few months back. So this picture was taken few years back, maybe 8 years, maybe 10 years back. So you will not able to identify who is what. But that was not main goal to show you the picture of my students. So what I want to show the expertise of my students, and that was continuing for last 15 years. You just take a look from where they are. You can find they are from physics, they are from chemistry, they are from biology, they are from medical. If you're a medical doctor, he's a cardiologist, and he's a last year MBBS students. So in the audience side, I also got a doctor here, so they will appreciate that this is the medical doctors. I have a medical doctors, we are doing the PhD with me. So that was there, and engineer and everything, like you can find that they are there. So this is my group, and this is there. So people may ask me that what we are going to do with this kind of beautiful group, and they are, let me tell you that they are very, very prolific, and top 2% in my country, because we will be from chemistry, they are CSIR, we are from medical science, they are ICMR fellow, engineers, they are MTech and also GATE fellow, something like that. They are very, very good, I would say. So with this kind of student strength, whatever we are doing very simple stuff. We are exploring the key molecular time scale by using ultrafast spectroscopy. So that was a jargon maybe, and the simple language, so key molecular time scale means we are exploring the atomic dance in a molecule. You know that the famous person, Professor Richard Feynman, said that whatever living things are doing, that can be understood in the jiggling, wiggling motions of the atom. So we are trying to understand that how the atoms are dancing in the molecule. So that was there. And with this, we are also working in 4 different areas. So one of the area is the biomimetic systems. So whatever written in red, so that was the basic science, and whatever written in blue, so that was like question of so what? Like if somebody can study biomimetic systems, what is the deliverable? So deliverable is over there, biomolecules in crowding, drug delivery systems, so and so forth. And nanohybrids for the biology, that also we are doing. We are making some nanomedicines which are very useful for the cancer, and it passed the preclinical trial and waiting for a clinical trial. So that kind of stuff. Photophysics of the nanomaterials, fundamentals of biomolecular interactions. So these 3 areas, we are just using commercially available instruments, and we have all the instruments. You can name it, I can say yes. And some instruments are not available in the market, so we are developing our own instruments. And here, our mandate is something different. So in the 3 areas, our mandate is to compete with the foreign institute, and we have to show our muscle. But here, our mandate is something like if a village doctor can use our machine and can diagnose a disease And if one life can be saved, then we are saying, okay, we have done something. So that was there. So we have some patent, we have some publication, so on and so forth. I'm not going to the details of that you can get it in my webpage. So today, I will restrict my discussion on the two topics because of the scope of the conference. So one, I'll be talking about some nanohybrids, and I'll show you that how these nanoparticles can be made and can be used properly. I will also talk about a little bit development of the some instruments, and it is a biomedical kind of instruments, and will convince you that how relevant this instrument is to the scope of the today's workshop, that is the theranostics, like a therapy and diagnosis simultaneously. What is the scope for that? So that I will be talking. So coming back to the nanotechnology, and I have some privilege because I'm the first technical speaker. So I can tell that I can give you some overview of my overview of the nanotechnology, and that was the definition. And definition came from a genius called Richard Feynman. He is also from Caltech, my alma mater. So that was the stuff, and he said that there is a plenty of room in the bottom. So he wanted to make it like that if you go for the nano, then there is a lot of scope, there is a lot of thing that you can do. But which is a little bit unattended is the nanomedicine. Like if you take a look, that what is the nanomedicine? So that was like people say that this is the very new word that people started talking in a recent time. Answer is no. So if you go through Feynman's writing, so that was he wrote in 1959, he said that Albert Higgs is one of his students. Actually, Professor Feynman had a very little number of students, that you will not believe, only 5 or 6. And he had a very good friendship with my advisor, Professor Ahmed Zuhail. He got Nobel Prize, as they mostly say. So that was there. So he told me that many people, he was a great teacher, but not a very good mentor. So staying with him is very difficult. Like always, he is ahead of time. So that was his problem. So what Feynman said that Albert Higgs suggested him that the idea of making use of Feynman's theoretical micromachines, and he suggested that one day will come where the people can swallow some doctor. So you do not have to go to the doctor for the checking. You just buy few doctors in the bottle and you take it, and doctors will go to your body and do whatever is needed and maybe come out in the terms of experience. So that was this idea that Albert Higgs said, and that was this particularly, people said that was his first idea regarding the nanomedicines that Feynman said. So that was the nanomedicine, and I will talk about some nanomedicine that we are developing. So before going to the nanomedicine, let me introduce a nanohybrid. So that was this point that we are doing. And before going to the nanohybrid, let me introduce that what fundamental that was the hybrid. And so when I was looking for the pure or classical definition of the hybrid, one of my prolific students suggested that, sir, why you are searching internet to get this idea about the hybrid. So there was a poet, very early poet, you can remember. The name of the poet is Sukumar Ray. He was the father of famous Satyajit Ray, who got Oscar and everything award. So he gave some idea about the hybrid material, I would say. So let me tell you that what was the idea that came from Sukumar Ray. Like if somebody wanted to make a hybrid material by using an elephant and the whale, so where they will land up? So they will land up with a material called eddy whale. Eddy whale means that it will be neither an elephant nor it will be a whale, and that would be a real crisis in real functionality. And he said, so that was of course English translation for this audience, like the poor eddy whale, that was a bungle means while whale yearns for the sea, eddy wants the jungle. So that was like that. So either it will not be an elephant, not it will be the whale, so it will be in between. And our nano hybrid is something like that. It has an organic counterpart and it has an inorganic counterpart. And if you meticulously make that kind of material, it will be neither organic nor inorganic. It will be a nanomedicine kind of stuff. So I will convince you that what kind of stuff that I will be talking in few minutes. So that was this hybrid. Are you convinced? 10% no. Are you convinced?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, that's good. At least 20%. So I'll just show you that what kind of stuff. So if you just have an experience of working with the nanomaterial, then you will find that this is not a very good, like if you really make nanomaterial without a capping, without a functional group, what will happen that this is not a very soluble material. So it will precipitate, it will aggregate and so and so forth. But if you can functionalize the nanomaterial with a proper coating, maybe organic, maybe another inorganic coating, like a core cell kind of stuff, then you can bring lots of functionality to that material. Like if you tag a fluorescent dye, the whole nanomaterial will become fluorescent. If you tag a ligand, then it will become a receptor kind of stuff. And then if you put there some contrast agent, it will become MRI kind of stuff, MRI contrast agent, and then the different functionality will come. So that was this nanomaterial. And I will show you that simple ligand coating with this material will also give you a different functionality. So there was a paper in Nature Material in 2009. They said that what was the advantage that if you functionalize or if you bring a organic material in the close proximity of an inorganic nanoparticle. So they said that cellular intact or the bioavailability of the material will increase and you can take more and more ligand, whatever the ligand is needed for our cell, you can increase it, but you have to be really careful. Like if your size and if your hydrophobicity of the nanomaterial is not proper, then it will create that site cytotoxicity. So this axis is the site and this axis is the hydrophobic property of the material. So if something is very hydrophobic and size is very small, then this is very cytotoxic. And depending upon the size of the nanomaterial, the expression route is something like if it is about 10 to 20 nanometer, then it will be the hepatic route, and if it is basically around 2 nanometer, then kidney will be responsible to experience those kind of nanoparticles. So that was you have to think about. So as I told you that we are working with the nanomaterial and the organic material together. So to our understanding, ultrafast or optical technique is the best technique to characterize those kind of material. And you may ask me why. Why means like if you want to investigate this kind of material by using TEM, transmission electron microscope, then your organic part will be burned, because it's a 200 kilovolt and it will be burned. So you will not get any information about the organic part. So inorganic will remain, and so essentially you will get the skeleton of the material. And if you want to use the FTIR, so that will be very sensitive for the organic part. What will happen? You will not get information about the inorganic part. So either you will get organic part and you will get the inorganic part. And some student may ask me, sir, what was the problem? Sometimes I will just do TEM and then same material I will do the FTIR. What was the problem? Problem is there because if you have an experience with the nanomaterial, you will find that sample preparation condition for the FTIR is different from the TEM. So whether you are seeing the same stuff or two different stuff, you do not know. Or you are catching the same man with the two different moods, maybe Jekyll, maybe Hyde. So you do not know that which mode that you are catching the man. So it is the proper man or not. So that was this point. But if you use the ultrafast spectroscopy that we are doing and it's an optical technique, you can get both the information at one time. So that was this point, and that's why I will tell you that why it is much more advantageous to work in that field. So now let me get to the point directly that we are working on the liver diseases, some solution for the liver diseases, and that particularly survey was done few years back in UK, and scientists said that prevalence of the diseases, like if you even consider the nephro disease, if you consider all other stuff, is really declining with time. With the increase of the advancement of the technology, then these diseases prevalence is decreasing. But liver disease is increasing gradually with the time, and scientists say that this is because of our lifestyle and then excess oxidative stress and delivering everything on time, and time is becoming very, very short. So that was its relevance for that kind of stuff. So liver disease is increasing with the time. So we thought that we should work, and another motivation, if you take a look for the hepatitis B or the liver diseases, India is very much in the alarming conditions. Like lots of liver fatalities and all this stuff is coming, increasing day by day. So we thought, why not we work on some solution for the liver disease. So we started working with a MN containing nanohybrids. So it's a inorganic nanomaterial. Let's say it is a MN304, and it has a coating called citrate or tartrate, which is very, very abundant in the citrus fruit, or maybe tartrate like a tamarind. So these kind of materials are, organic ligands are very, very abundant. So another point of working with this MN, because MN, our body knows how to handle the MN. And like this is one of our trace elements in our body. Many enzymes need MN for the proper functioning of our body. And people say that if MN is really lacking, particularly for the female subject, then they may have a thyroid problem. And this thyroid problem is really a problem, and then it has a problem with the pregnancy and all other stuff. So this is a medical journal, so that they say there's a nutritional relationship of manganese. So that was there. So this is a safe because all the metals are lethal up to some dose, but its lethal dose is a little bit higher. So we have lots of work in this direction. We can control the surface modification of MN304, and we can make lots of electronic energy levels different. So we can control DD transitions, we can control the magnetic property of that kind of stuff, and lots of optical property will come as a result of the this surface modification. So to make long story short, I want to tell you that MN3 plus is a D4 system. So that will give you LMCT for ligand to metal charge transfer, and also it will offer Young-Taylor distortion. So as a result, you will find the different electronic states if you change the different ligand across this MN304. So that we characterize everything very, very meticulously. And you can ask me that what technique we didn't use. So that was very hard to say, because we almost used all the technique to characterize this kind of material. So this is the one of the first material that we made, and it was tried with human subject, and it was long back 2014. So we said that this is unprecedented catalytic activity of MN304 nanoparticles, potential lead in sustainable therapeutic agent in hyperbilirubinemia. Hyperbilirubinemia is a disease. I would say that this is the body condition, not the disease like a fever. Fever is the body condition, and disease is something else. So where our bilirubin level of our body will be very, very high. And then bilirubin is a molecule who has a property to cross our blood-brain barrier, and it can go to our brain. And if it is not controlled in few hours, then there will be a state called carnicterus. So all brain activity will be collapsed. So it is independent of anything, like independent of that the subject is a neonatal subject or the subject is adult subject. Please get my picture properly without any photo. Thank you. So this is there. So a few years back, we tried with this kind of stuff with human subject, and we found that so that to make a story to be complete, and if we cannot take care in few hours, that will be carnivorous. And right now there is no symptomatic medicine to handle the hyperbilirubinemia. Like if somebody is suffering from the hyperbilirubinemia, then doctor can give some medicine, it's called hepatoprotective medicine, and then it will cure the liver, and liver will reduce the hemoglobin, bilirubin. So that was it. So that will take long time, and if there is some urgency to reduce the bilirubin, then you have to go for the hemodialysis. So that was this another painful process. So we developed something. If you take a look over there, to whatever be the bilirubin level of the body, if you just apply our nanomaterial in 2.5 hours to 3 hours, the bilirubin level will be down and it will come to the normal level. So that was our observation, and without affecting any kind of other blood parameter, like there is no allergic response, no toxicity, so it will really do very specific way. So that was there. So if you just take a look at whether we saved this kind of life, because doctor reported us that all the hyperbilirubinemia patients that we tried were died because of the carnivorous and everything. And but what was thing, because we didn't have any ethical clearance to inject to their body, so we had to do it ex in vivo, taking their blood and doing this kind of stuff. So that we have done. So we were really a little bit unhappy that given the opportunity we could have saved their life, but we didn't get any opportunity. But we tried to develop this kind of material further. So after a few years, like 1 year, we started work on the preclinical model. Preclinical model means working on a Swiss albino, so that was the mice model. And we created the hyperbilirubinemia model by giving the carbon tetrachloride. So that was like we increase the bilirubin level and make the liver to be bad like this. But if you inject, you see that there was a time scale, 2.5 hours, the bilirubin level was coming back to the normal. And then after 7 to 8 hours, it started increasing. So the difference between two injections that we found that it would be like a 7 to 8 hours. So that was the first trial that we had. And we had a very good paper in the nanomedicine. I think whoever has the experience of publishing nanomedicine, that they know that it would be like a 5 referees and double blinded and everything. And out of 5, 2 will be the medical doctors, so that they want to do. And this title was given by the editor itself. So editor said that this kind of materials would be considered as the first safe and symptomatic medicinal use of nanomaterial, and we are very happy regarding that kind of stuff. So these are the details of the my studies. Whoever be interested on that, so they can contact me. I'll be here till evening today. So these are the stuff, and this is the histopathology evidence. So you see that this is the portal vein is completely blocked by the hepatitis. So whenever they are being treated with our nanomedicine, it is being cleaned up and it is going for the reverse process, like the recovery is happening over there. So this is the good point about this. Now we have a tablet version of the material. So it is like a cyclate functionalized NWNTD, but that was the tablet. And preclinical studies is done. We are just looking for a sponsor that will sponsor our studies. So good point about this, like if you use the oral route to reduce the hyperbilirubinemia, you can also cure the fibrotic liver, because fibrotic liver problem is really huge problem in my country also. So we found that fibrotic liver problem can be reversed in the mice model. So we are just looking for the human trial. So this is one good stuff that we are doing. So another advantage of using the nanomedicine or the nanomaterial, like you can develop targeted drug. So what is the targeted drug? Let me explain you that if somebody having the problem in the heart and the doctor decided that drug has to be delivered to the heart, nowadays the common medicine doesn't have this kind of ability. So what doctor will do, they will say, okay, so you are 60 kilogram, so take this medicine 500 milligram per 3 times a day and 7 days, something like that. Because doctor knows that although the problem is in the heart, but if you take the medicine will go to your brain, medicine will go to your feet and all this body, like this. Like you take the medicine and medicine will be distributed all over your body, and in the heart, the specific density of the material will be very little or very little over there. But if you can functionalize this material properly, and if you can make it like use the wonder of the nanotechnology, so what you can do that you can the drug will go through all your body, but it will be localized to a particular organ if you want, and that was for targeted drug delivery. And then you can use some kind of stimuli, so that we are using some photon or something like that, so that the drug action can be doubled or that it can be increased. So that was this point about the targeted drug delivery. So we are very much aware about the market size. So it has a huge market, and Proxil is that kind of material, so that we were developed in USA, and Proxil is known to be the first nanomedicine who had a market size of 16 billion US dollar in 2015. So this is like whoever wanted to open a startup or wanted to go for the entrepreneurship, so they should keep in mind that nanomedicine has a huge market over there. So we recently developed a nanomedicine, so that was particularly useful for the cervical cancer. And what was the material we have done? So this is the doxorubicin, so that was cancer medicine, and we added a molecule called photochromic molecule. This photochromic molecule will remain in the cis form normally, but if you give a light, then it will go to the trans form and will make a hole in the liposome. As a result, so it will be delivered to a cancer cell, so if you want. And this is the cervical cancer cell that we work, and these are the in vitro studies that how the delivery is happening. And this is the drug release studies, so that we did, and we found that this is the brass model which is following to deliver this thing. These are the details, I'm not going to that. And we found at least 60% extra efficacy compared to the normal drug delivery vehicle. So that was there, and it is patented, and we are expecting that it will come to this preclinical trial soon. So another stuff that we developed recently, and that was relevant to this today's conference, like nanotheranostics, or is a theranostic material, and we work on a cancer, colon cancer. Colon cancer, particularly in European countries, is very, very high. And we developed a folate functionalized Fe2O3. So this is a magnetic material, so that magnetic material can be capped with the folate. And folate is a material, particularly, that will be localized higher in a cancer cell compared to the normal cell. And these are the details characterization. I'm not going to the details on that because of the time, but you see that we characterize everything. So this is the pain, this is the same, this is the DLS, this is XRD, this is FTIR, this is Raman, this is ultrafast spectroscopy portrait, phosphorus resonance and ultrasonic. This is the ROS capability of this, like a reactive oxygen species capability of this material. And this is the VSM study, vibrating sample magnetometer, in order to check their magnetic ability. So you see that these materials are very much ferromagnetic at even room temperature and 80 degrees centigrade and 80 degree Kelvin. So it is showing a very, very high coercivity over there. And you see that this is the FC, ZFC curve. I'm not going to the details again. So overall, what was the conclusion? that that was a fantastic material not only for the therapy, also for the diagnosis. And diagnosis that we are proposing is like MRI diagnosis. So you take a look that we trial with the called human embryonic kidney cell and also HCT cell. HCT is the colorectal cancer cell. So localization of this kind of material is very high in HCT cell compared to the X cell, and this is the MRI phantom image that you can see that we can easily get a very high contrast for this kind of material. So what was our point? That immediately if you can do, you can get this idea that this MRI will guide you for the diagnosis, and photodynamic therapy will cure the cancer cell. So it will be very targeted, and it is a classical example of the theranostic materials. So that we have done. So this is like a nanotheranostics, my students said. So there was another example of the optotheranostics. Optotheranostics means that we are using only optical spectroscopy or the spectroscopic knowledge to do some therapy and diagnostics. And that particularly I want to show you that it is the concept of smart baby blanket, or it is called baby blanket. So as you know that if some of the babies are coming from their mother womb, their bilirubin level is very high, and that was this is called neonatal jaundice. So actually they were normally kept in a BB light, so it's a blue light kind of stuff, and then they will be cured. So there was a news in the Telegraph few years back. They said that this is the baby blanket, and this thing, like whatever they propose, that if some blanket can be made, like which is using the fiber optic or optical fiber will be there on the blanket. So if some subject is having neonatal jaundice, so you can wrap the baby with the that kind of blanket, and it will be cured. So that news was based on our work, because we developed a concept which, like, by using the evanescent field. So evanescent field, as you know, so that was there in the fiber optics, and you can use that thing for the theranostic applications. So that you can do. So the concept is something like, if you have a light, if you launch a light to an optical fiber, and if you have a sample, and sample is our bilirubin or the body of a baby over there, so this evanescent field can touch the body of the baby or the skin and can detect that how much bilirubin it was having, and also it can cure, it can destroy the bilirubin and can make it non-harmful product of the bilirubin on that. And this again the details that this is the optical fiber, this is the same picture of the optical fiber, and you can see that damaged optical fiber is having a higher ability to offer you the theranostic efficiency. And this is the particularly optical spectrum of the bilirubin, and if you just take a look at what bilirubin is being destroyed, so you can see the bilirubin concentration is increasing if light is not there. That means they are being precipitated on the surface of the fiber, but whenever you are giving the light, so bilirubin is coming down, and then up, and then down, then up, and then down. And we found that if you have a bilirubin solution, that was the meaning of this baby's body, and that bilirubin concentration is gradually decreasing with time. So we also found that this is very much biocompatible, because if you give it in a hemoglobin solution, then hemoglobin is not being affected by the blue light, only bilirubin is being affected by the blue light that you can get. And this kind of in vitro setup that we propose, that if you have a chromatographic paper, so mimic of a skin of a neonatal subject, and if you pass a optical fiber through it, so you can get the degradation of the hemoglobin, and you can get this idea of this bilirubin, that how much bilirubin is still there in the body. So this is the theranostic applications that we applied very successfully. And we are working right now on the mice model that for the neonatal mice that you can cure with the baby blanket. So this is two examples. Now I want to show you that we are also working on the real development of the of some instrument, and this kind of instrument is very much needed for my country. Because you see, the problem is, so one of the national problem is like we are losing about 200 children per hour in my country. And if you take a look at children death in India is number one. And we are fighting that who can produce more dead children with Nigeria. So you take a look that we are fighting on what basis, that who can produce more dead children, not the football or the wrestling. So there was there, and so we found that we are developing country, so maybe we can afford to have more dead children. But what UNICEF suggested that 30% of the children death can be prevented. So this is the called under the preventable child mortality. And if somebody can detect anemia, like a less blood and jaundice, so higher bilirubin level, and the oxygen deficiency, that whether SpO2, like oxygen balance in our body is good or not, then we can prevent at least 30% mortality. So that is our inspiration, that if somebody can detect 3 body parameters in a very, very nice way, then we can stop lots of child mortality. But this is the problem in my country again. Like a doctor is particularly required to detect that whether the baby is having this kind of problem or not. But our doctors are very busy, that they have to do so many stuff. And if you take a look at WHO's chart, you can see that around 55% of the child death is because in the neonatal age. So before they cross 21 days, so they die. So that's there. In my country, particularly the maternal mortality rate. So whenever the pregnant women are dying, so maternal mortality rate is also very high. And most of the causes for the maternal mortality is hemorrhage, like the anemia and everything, hemorrhage and the anemia. And this is the stuff with the jaundice. Like whenever babies are coming with the neonatal jaundice, and neonatal jaundice has to be handled in few hours, like 3 to 4 hours that neonatal jaundice can be handled. And if you cannot handle the neonatal jaundice in few hours, then cardiac arrest is the problem. And most of the cases, if they survive from the cardiac arrest, whole life for the baby will suffer with this neuropsychiatric problem. Sometimes, parents will pray that why his life he should be dead, because it will be a living dead, like a cardiac arrest, all the neuropsychiatric problem will be the consequence of that kind of stuff. So, what was the thing? Like, you have to do the blood test, and taking blood from the neonatal subject, is very, very painful. Like getting 2 ml blood that you need for the bilirubin test is really pain, and you can hardly get this thing. So if somebody is being diagnosed with neonatal jaundice, then every 6 hours that you have to prick, and pricking and getting blood, you see that this is a problem. This kind of stuff is not shown to the mother. Otherwise, mother will say, "Let my child be dead. So why you are giving torturing him or her?" So that was this problem. So that we said that what was the solution? So solution is whatever we develop, like we can give some light to the conjunctiva of the eye. So light will go to a LED source. It will go in conjunctiva. Conjunctiva means white portion of the eye. It will go and it will come back with the information about if somebody is anemic. So his spectrum will be like this compared to the normal. And if somebody is having a jaundice, then this spectrum will be like that. This portion will be inflated. And if somebody is having oxygen problem, then these 2 peaks will be further. So the 3 parameters, namely called AJO, or in Hindi it is called OJO, like 3 parameters can be detected in 0.5 seconds. Like 500 milliseconds it will take time, and data can be transmitted to 8,000 kilometers in 3 seconds through cloud, so that the doctor, other than doctor, can say what to do in 3 seconds. So 6.5 seconds is the total response time that baby will get a treatment. So that was our idea, and this was ready for a few years back. And so after this, flashing the news to different newspapers, the health minister at that time, health minister, now he becomes science and technology minister, Dr. Harshavardhan, was visiting my lab. And you see that I am using my body language to convince him, because he is a minister and lots of directors and everything was standing beside me. So that was there, but he's a doctor. Convincing a doctor is very difficult, you know. You can convince normal people. Minister is very easy. They will take a picture and then go. But the doctors, they say. So what he did, he sat down and said, I am a doctor. I know my hematological parameter, everything. So if if it is consistent with that, good. And if it is not, better be careful. So he said. So that day he didn't say anything. So next day he sent one message to the nation. And he said, signing a lamb into eye would reveal bilirubin content in blood, tested in myself in SN Bose National Center. So everybody was happy. I got a phone call from Prime Minister's office that what I want, and something and so on and so forth. So all good slowly was going after that. So after few months of his visit, so this paper came from a CMRI hospital. So that was one of the private hospital in my city. And it said for development and optimization of a non-contact optical device for online monitoring of jaundice in human subjects. So if you take a look at data looks to me very promising. Like you see that it has a direct correlations with the blood test and our instrument. And last year, it is 2017, we validated with 1,500 people with the anemia in NRS hospital. So NRS Medical Hospital is one of the biggest hospital in my region. So this is the government hospital. And we confirmed that hemoglobin can be detected without touching the subject, and it is completely non-invasive. And you see the data was very good. And here I want to point out something that is very, very interesting. Like you see that if somebody is suffering from anemia, like blood hemoglobin level is less than 6, then our accuracy is very, very high. So that was the physics. Like if you use the Beer-Lambert law, and if your concentration is lower, then you will get the highest accuracy. So that was not a magic, but the physics. So that was there. So we confirmed like this. And right now we are trialing for the O, like a large scale validation is under trial in Calcutta Medical College right now, and we hopefully will get this status. So although you are very, very welcome to my institute to see that how it is going on, but who will not get the chance, for example, this machine is for them. So this is the Hogeo machine, the blue color, and Onimes is the MTech in bioelectronics, and he is MTech in computer engineering. So he developed the software, and you see that he is testing and immediately telling that what is the hemoglobin, bilirubin, and SpO2 at one time. So that was very, very easy, and many people can test it by themselves, and very minimum training is required for this. But you know, whenever I go to give a talk, and they say, how do you solve this problem? Because neonatal, you are talking about the neonatal mortality rate and everything, but neonatal eyes rarely open like this. They are very happy with this kind of stuff. So even they are laughing, so they are doing like this, something. You know that getting this kind of posture is very rare. So they do this kind of posture to their mother, but doctors are not mother, unfortunately. They are doctors. So that this. But they are happy if you do some kind of sign, that kind of stuff, they will be happy to space their hands, do it like this. So we took this opportunity that right now our machine is being trialed with the fingernails, like a toe, thumb finger. We worked on that, and we have a good paper this year, 2019, that called novel whole blood, a whole spectrum based non-invasive screening device for neonatal hyperbilirubinemia. So we tried. So what was this idea? That if the neonatal even volunteered to give us a thumb. We will be able to detect with this machine. And here is the the physiology of that what kind of stuff that we are doing, and it has also very good correlation. And this device, this technology has been sold to a company, a Brazil-based company, and they will enter through Canada and Japan soon. So I think that we will have a very good news. But this thing will not be made in India, so it will be made in Japan or this Canada. So that was there. But that after that, lots of newspaper thing came, and they said 500 seconds without needle beat. They said that Kolkata scientists developed this up. So this is like their conclusion. But our conclusion is the following. So our conclusion that this is the only indigenous device, indigenous product. So it's called Ojeo, and in Bengali also it's Ojeo. Maybe in Assamese similar spelling, I don't know. So this is there. But the nutshell conclusion is that this is invincible towards comprehensive health. And I bet it, like when we develop this thing, we start with a challenge that if somebody can show an instrument which will able to detect anemia, jaundice, and oxygen saturation in 0.5 seconds without touching the subject, I will buy a lunch. So we started with a thing that lunch means lunch in a canteen, like a 300 rupees. Now, nobody took this challenge. Now our challenge goes to 5-star hotel. Like if somebody can show that this kind of instrument is there, I will buy a lunch in a 5-star hotel. So that was more than 2,000 rupees. So you want to take a challenge? Nobody will take. So maybe 7-star. Next time I will increase my challenge to 7-star. Okay. So that was there. So now for that kind of stuff, I think government of India recognized, and my group got Gandhian Technology Innovation Award last year. So that was like a Mahatma Gandhi put all his R&D somewhere, and then they are giving the award. So these are the award giving stuff. So my group has been recognized with the Gandhian Award, and I was being recognized by Abdul Kalam National Innovation Fellowship. So of course everything is going to my group, and it's a huge amount of money they are giving. And I can do whatever I like to do, because that if you approach to a nurse or the doctors, they will not able to take the money legally, but they want to take money like this. So Abdul Kalam will give me flexibility that I can spend the money wherever I want. So it's like a more than 15 lakhs per year, so not a very small amount of money. So another stuff that I told you, that for this Ojeo adult, whoever bought our technology, the owner of the technology is a winner across the world. So the company, he was a startup company, and he was the youngest CEO of that company called EasyRx. So recently got the Tata Social Enterprise Challenge, and he was the second among 5,000 company in India. So he was the only company that he is having zero return, like no return yet. He promised that he will make it. So he said it, and then he became the second among the 5,000 companies. This is there. Recently, he won an award which is given internationally. So he became top 51 in the world. So that was given in Nigeria. So that was by WHO, and he became a top 51 company across the world. So who actually got our technology, they are becoming owner. So if there is an entrepreneur, or you want to become an entrepreneur, particularly I want to ask Umunda that after retirement, if you want to become an entrepreneur, please take our technology. Then you will become really profitable. So this is there, and to my thing that there is a lots of limit, and as Gurudev says that the limit is really infinity. And also, only thing that you have to challenge is that you have to work in a way, chitto jeta vaishunno, where mind is fearless, but this really a challenge. And challenge at the time of Tagore, and that's why he said, "Let my country be awake," because at that time the country was not ready to do that kind of stuff. And today also I want to say that my country is not ready for that. So Let's pray. And thank you very much for your kind attention.